defined loop variable. In is the operator which is usually used for referring to this data item in a particular sequence or maybe in a particular data object. So right now we are interested in fetching all the contents of a text file demo.txt, line by line. So for each in file, and this colon is essential at the end of for loop, no brackets are required, print each. So here you can see the output, all the contents in the file are printed line by line. So after this, let us see how to work with write mode. Rest of the syntax will be same. I have not made any change. The same file you can open, or you can also open some other file. So here I am opening another file, myfile.txt in write mode. So I want to write a particular string. So for that purpose, I am making use of this input method, input enter text. So whatsoever value I will enter over here, or any string I will enter over here, will be saved in the str variable on the left hand side. And then by making use of f.write method, f.write within brackets str, so this data will be saved in that. This data will be saved in your particular file with the name myfile.txt. So I am pasting it. I am pasting this code in the chat window. So all of you are requested to create one file through this. Run this code. Is it working for you? So you will have to take care one thing, that in this particular case, I have mentioned the path on my folder, right? Path to my folder. So you can make a change to any folder. So create a folder with the name of yours, and then you can use the name myfile.txt for. Are you getting it? So it's a simple process so that you can save your data. So save your name or any other information in the file with the name myfile.txt. So have you done with the code? One more thing is there when you are typing any code on your own. So just take care of indentation. Let's say if you will try to copy paste this code, so maybe some indentation will be changed. So what you need to do, you simply check for the indentation. All the lines within the for loop should be starting with the same space. So in case if anything is displaced, you just take care of the indentation part also. So it means whatsoever string we are trying to, read here. Let's say I have read the string hello participants to the input method, and the same string will be written into this particular file, myfile.txt. If you want to read this file further, so you can open the same file in read and you can get the data printed. So I have simply read the data and wrote it in this file. So again, you can read it and print the information line by line. So this is the way how we handle our text file in read and write mode. So next is, can we append the information? So for that, the mode will be changed. Rest of the complete syntax will be same. So at the end, I will write here A, for the append mode. So let's say you have written hello participants and now you want to add few names into it. So if I will open it in write mode, you know that in write mode it will simply replace the earlier information. So I don't wish that, so I will open it in append mode now. And whatsoever new information you will now write here, it will be appended. So the previous code which I have shared, please change in that the mode A, append mode, and the rest of the code is same. So just look into it, whether it is appending the information or not. So like one more string I want to enter, how are you? So I believe that this particular file should include both the information, hello participants, how are you? These two lines should come into the file. So you can check it out. You can make change in the append mode and then you can add the information that is needed. File handling is very important aspect in Python because when we are working with any kind of algorithm, let's say you have generated a result. So you may be interested in referring it further in future. Otherwise, when you are running it at runtime, only the things will be visible. Later on, you will not be able to access the results. So usually we prefer that whether some graph is generated, so it should be saved in the JPG or PNG file format. And if some data is generated, then it should also be saved in some file. And if you have computed some new field, in Excel already you are having 4 to 5 columns and some sixth column is generated due to certain computation. So I wish that sixth column should also be written in the file and I can refer it in future. So that's why file handling becomes quite essential and you should know how to work in intermediately with the file also along with other algorithms. So now we are going to do the method f.read. So f.read method allows you to read a file character by character and you can print the result. So it means the starting part, the handler part is same where we are opening the file in read format and we are trying to read it character by character and then you can just print all the information which is received in the str variable and at the end you can close the file. So here you can see that I have added two strings. Hello participants, how are you? So both the two strings are appearing on the output screen when you will try to rerun it. So what change we have made here? The file which I have just written in append mode. Now I am trying to read it. I'm pasting the code here in the chat window. You can just run it. Open the same file now in read format and the read mode will allow you to read the contents that you have saved in your file. Next is, can we make certain changes? Let's say character by character it is reading. Can I limit it to some kind of specified characters? So for reading specified number of bytes from the file and returning them to some user defined variable, I need to use the syntax f.read within brackets. You specify number of bytes that you want to read. So it will read accordingly and every character is using single byte. So I'm expecting 5 characters to display. So it will read at a time 5. Are you getting this thing? Because we have restricted the limit to number of 5. Only 5 bytes will be displayed. So next is, this is how you can go for storing a group of strings into a text file. So here we are going to open the file in write mode and I wish that once my data is over, I want to indicate that by entering the @ symbol, it should stop writing into the file. Are you getting me? Let's say you want to restrict the user. Once at the rate symbol is encountered, it should now stop writing into the file. Otherwise, it will keep on writing the things that you're reading in the particular file in the right format. So here we will make use of a conditional writing. So as you can see here that I'm using a while loop. While str not equal to at the rate symbol I'm using, I'm checking that the information in my string, if it is at the rate, it means now I should stop. So I'm trying to read some input information over here by using the input method. And as you know that by default input method receives the string value. So str is holding some data. If str not equal to this, what it will do, it will simply write it in the file f.write str plus new line character. It means if I'm saying hello participants, so it will be written into the file, and it will also bring the cursor to the next line. I am adding new line character also. Now whatsoever I will read again in the loop, because whatsoever string I have read, that is not equal to at the rate. Suppose after entering 4 5 strings I want to stop now, so what I will do, I will enter over here at the rate, and it will simply stop writing into the file, because we are not going to this write statement once str value is equal to at the rate. So I'm pasting this code. You can please try whether it is doing like this. You can just check it out. Take 2 minutes, run it. So is it able to identify the character? So you will have to put at the rate when you want to stop the process. Otherwise the loop will continue. So the termination condition for the while loop is when it has encountered the at the rate symbol, or you can also make use of some other character also. So kindly make change in the path. Okay. So don't go for as it is. Whatsoever path you want to mention, please change that. So on desktop or in any other folder or directly in C drive. So the folder name you will have to specify. Yes, you can type your response if somebody is able to run the program. Yes, participants, are you doing it? Are you able to get the output? Kindly confirm in the chat window. So I hope it is working for you. So the only thing is to take care of the path. And second important point to take care of is indentation. You should not forget to take care of proper indentation in your programming. Shall I proceed further or you are doing it? So it will work like this. When you're trying to enter the text, it will keep on asking and you will keep on writing it till @ symbol is encountered. So I have already run the script, so output is visible at the end. So in your case, what you need to do, bring the cursor in the right cell and click on run. So it will just run the code and execute it. And if there is no error, it will display the output. So another important function is f.seek method. So when you are working with any file, so you can specifically, I'm talking about text file here because text file, if you want to bring the cursor to a specific location and you want to display specific information, so you will have to use f.seek method, and it takes this syntax f.seek. The first argument is about offset, the second is from where. So offset means how many bytes to move, and from where means from which position you want to move. So it will position the file handler over there. So if I write f.seek 10,0, f.seek 10,0, it means it will start from the starting position in the file and it will move by 10. It will move by 10 bytes. So in this manner, you can take care of any kind of, change in the position of the file handler. So usually it takes 3 values for the second argument, which is from anywhere. I'm little bit reducing the size so that you can see. So 0 means from the beginning of file, 1 means from the current position, and second means from the end of the file. Are you getting me? So f.seek tells the position from where you want to start and how many bytes you want to move in the file. So 0,0 means in the beginning of the file. So the file contents are str1 equals to f.read. It means first I am positioning the cursor in the beginning of the file and then we are trying to read. So usually by default it starts with the beginning. So if you want to start printing the data from another position, then you can first make use of f.seek method. Now another method that I want to share over here is f.read lines. So earlier, if you remember, we have used the for loop. Now please use this method. You have already created a file, text file, and I hope in that you might have written something, right? So I'm pasting this code here in the chat window, and you people can simply run it and check it out whether this read line method is. So the syntax is quite simple. Rather than using f dot read or f dot read with number of bytes, now we are trying to read line by line. So f dot read lines can be used for the same. Now next important thing is split lines. So this is very important when we are trying to, separate the content, let's say by comma, by semicolon, by space, by tab, or by any other special character. So usually the function that we require is split lines. F dot read dot split lines. So here you can see that the data which is there in the file is opened in read, and we are trying to use the split lines method to suppress the new line character. So it means Pankaj, Akriti, Sanjana, Nidhi, Shital, these all names are present in different lines in the text file. So you can please check it out whether it is working or not. So what you can do, you can make use of split lines. So by default, it is taking new line character as the termination of a line in your text file. So you can also make use of split line along with other different characters also. So I have pasted the code in the chat window so that you can try with split lines also. So similarly, as we have done it for read lines, there is a write lines method also. So this will allow you to open a file in write mode, and we are trying to write set of strings into it. Here you can see that L is a list basically. In a list, I have specified the list of strings. Let's say you have set of five student names. So you can prepare first of all a list of students, the first student name within double quotes, comma, the second student name within double quotes, comma, and so on. Open any file in write mode and then use the name of the file handler dot write lines method, and you can put this list name over here. So what it will do, it will take string one by one and it will write it into the file. So one important concern over here is when we are opening a file handler, it is very essential to close it also. So I will tell you one more method where we need not to worry about closing the file. So that method is with method. With can also be used for opening a file. And in case sometimes you are not sure that whether some file exists or not, you are trying to open a file but it is not existing. So in Python, we do have provision for OS. This is the name of the Python library for operating system. And another is sys. Sys we have already used for checking the Python version. So this is the basically operating system module, and it has also a sub module with the name path that we are going to use. And one method that we are going to use over here is file. So as I said, Python is a purely object-oriented programming language. It is also having a hierarchy of all the libraries. So you need to take care of in which hierarchy this particular method is file is available. So in operating system, you do have submodule path, and within that there is a method is file. And this hierarchy is separated by dot operator. So just like Java, you are going to use this hierarchy os.path.isFile. And in isFile method, I am interested in passing this file handler fname, which is referring to myfile.txt. So after this, we are opening this particular file, else print fname does not exist. Are you getting this? If this particular os.path.isFile and this file name, if it exists, it will open it in read mode, and if doesn't exist, it will go to the else block. And in else block, it will print this particular file does not exist, and it will just exit from the execution. And for that, you will have to use sys.exit 0 in order to terminate the program. Now we want to read the contents and we want to print them. So open the file. We have already done so in the previous if statement. We have opened the file in read format, read mode, and then you can apply the method read, f.read, and print. And at the end, you can close the same. I hope this is clear, the path method and its role. Yes, participants? Is it clear? os.path.isFile, and we are passing to it a file handler. So in case if the file exists on your system in that particular directory, it will open it. Otherwise, it will display a message that the particular file doesn't exist. And after opening it, now you can read the contents of file and then close the same. So in this manner, we do need to keep a proper check whether a particular path problem should not be there, and the file which you're mentioning, always take care of the name of the file. If it is in lowercase or uppercase, so exactly you type the name of the file. And in case of Python, we make use of a writing format that is just like the camel format. Means the first string will be having the capital letter, and in case if the name of the variable or the function is consisted of two words, so again the next word first letter will be capital, and so on. So this kind of formatting you will observe throughout the Python code, whether it is an object name or a class name or a file name. So you should take care of uppercase and lowercase also. So now I am going to share this small exercise. Usually we are interested in finding out how many number of characters are there, how many number of words are there. So if we want to keep a count on that, so how we will go about? So this is a small program for counting number of lines, number of words and characters in a particular file. So the very first thing is you will have to open this particular file in read mode. Then the same path we are checking, if it is right in the path, then simply open it, otherwise exit. And then I am taking three counters over here, C1, CW and CC. All the three counters are initialized to 0. Why so? Because in the beginning I have not counted anything. So initially I am taking that number of characters, number of words. CL is the number, CL, it is basically CL, number of lines, count of number of words, count of number of characters. So read line by line from the file. So for this purpose, we are using a line. For line in F, words equals to line dot split. Remember, this is not split lines, it is a split method. Don't confuse with the previous method, line dot split. So I am interested in splitting the line further. If it includes, let's say, space within, hello, how are you? These are 4 words. After hello, there is a space. After how, there is a space. After are, there is a space. So it means I want to split the particular line after each space. So for that, you will have to use split method, line dot split. So it means I can have all the words after this split method. So C1 CL equals to CL plus 1. It means once the first line is read, I will increment. Again, listen to this properly. CL will be incremented because we have read a line. So this is the next important point, because when I'm applying split method, I don't know how many words I got. So it is basically returning. You can do print words. I have made it a comment. Observe this line. I have made it a comment because for testing purpose, I have just used this line. Later on, I removed. I have made it a comment. But for in just future also, if you want to check anything, you can just bring back into code by removing the hash. So print words means it will show you the list of words that you are getting after splitting the line. So I will compute length of words. So words is the list, basically list of words in a line. I will check for its length, and by that number I will increment the count of words. In each line, if I am having some words, in the first line I am having 5 words. So the count of words will be incremented by 5. Now come to count of characters. So in each line, how many number of characters are there? You can check for the same by computing length method on the line variable. So in this manner, CC will also be incremented, and now you can print all the 3. So I hope this part is clear to all of you. You have already a file available. So if you want to apply this, you can apply. So you have already opened a file, suppose in read format. So you can add on this code. So it will bring number of lines, number of words in a particular line, and number of characters in a particular line. You can keep track of all these things. So now one query is, can you make use of such kind of processing somewhere? Does this kind of text processing is helpful somewhere? Can you type here in the chat window? Any application, any problem in your mind where this thing can be applied? NLP. Suppose when you are typing a password, right? When you're typing a password, there should be a specific length. You might have observed while logging in into any account that your password should be at least 8 characters long. Are you getting me? Or it should include any special character, specifically, let's say at the rate or hash. So it means you will have to do text processing. So in case if the string which you are processing includes all the required things, so you can also utilize this in the validation part also. So you can count the length of that particular string or the character or the line, and if it meets the need or the requirement, or you can also go for, let's say there is a user interface, and you have mentioned that the comment should not be more than 100. So what you can do, you can fetch the value of that comment, you can compute its length, and if it is below that particular word limit, you can proceed further. Otherwise you can display some kind of warning message. Further, it can also be helpful in exception handling. So all these kind of things are based upon such kind of processing, where split method will help you, split line will help you. Is it clear, participants?
Yes, ma'am.
So another example we are going to do on a binary, right? So where we are trying to copy an image into a file, and now it is available in, we want to open the file in binary mode. So in binary mode, the only change will be I am having one, tulip flower image available, and I'm trying to read that particular file in RB format. It's a binary file. So I will read it in RB format, and I will open a new file in WB format. Remember this thing. Now we are working in binary mode. So it should not be R and W. The mode available are RB and WB. So what we are going to do now, f1.read, we are reading the information available in f1 file handler. I will refer to this in bytes variable, and then I will write all the information in another new file. So I'm expecting this tulip flower, all information is now copied to the another file, that is new file.jpg. And then you can close both the files. I have copied the code here. You can try out. So what you need to do, first of all, take an image file, save it in the folder which you have created, and then open that particular file in RB format, RB mode, and copy the contents by reading it in binary mode to another file. Can you see here this tulip image? There is one tulip flower image, and I have copied the same to new file. So if I will open this new file also, so it will show me the same contents as there in the tulip flower. Yes, participants? I hope the example is clear to you. Take an image file, read its path, and copy the contents by reading it in binary mode. So these small tasks are usually required while doing some bigger tasks. So if we are clear about the fundamentals, how to work with data structures, how to work with file handling concepts, how to work with object oriented concepts, exception handling, and further visualization part. So by combining and integrating together, your overall project or work will be done. Without all basics, knowing the fundamentals, you cannot move even with the, you can say, already available code. It will be very tough for you even to understand someone else's code. So that's why even code is available, it takes time to understand the code, and it takes time to customize it. So now we are taking up next example of with statement. As I told you, when we are opening a file by using the file handler and open method, so usually we need to take care of closing the same, right? We will have to close explicitly. But when it comes to with statement, this statement can be used also for opening a file. And benefit of this is that it takes care of closing a file automatically. You need not to mention explicitly f dot close statement. So the syntax here is with open. Within that, the same two arguments you require to pass name of the file and mode as keyword, and then file object followed by colon. So this is complete the syntax. Again, I am repeating with keyword, name of the method that is open, open followed by two arguments, file name and mode of the file as keyword, and then file object. In which file object you want to open this particular file in this mode. So this is the interpretation of this. So now let us see how we can go about this. With open, I'm trying to open sample.txt file in write mode as file handler f. At the end, you should use colon. F.write, I'm learning Python. F.write, Python is free and open source. These two lines we are writing. So it will write these both into the file. You can check it out. With usually when we are opening a file, so normally we prefer this with statement. For opening a file in read or write, you can use it. So you can see that by simply using with statement without using explicitly close statement, you can write the information. I have copied the code here in the chat window. If you want to run, you can do it. And similarly, if the same file you want to open in read, then line by line you want to read, then the same process. Now the same file I wish I should read in read mode. And line by line I want to retrieve. So till now we are working with text file only. How to open it, how to close it with statement. What is the objective of iterating over the text file? So text processing will be done quite efficiently if you know all these steps. So you can read your data line by line, you can read it character by character, you can read specific number of bytes, you can move the pointer to specific location, and then you can read the contents. So there are several methods which are explicitly used for text files. Is it okay till now? If you have any query, you can put here in the chat window. Yes, participants, have you tried the example? Okay. Take your time, take 2 minutes, run it. If it is working, we will proceed further. So now after this, till now, you might have seen that in many of the algorithms that has been implemented by the different experts, they are making use of CSV or Excel files. When the data is in structured format consisted of lot many instances or rows and various columns, so we particularly are working with CSV, that is comma separated file, and Excel files. So for this, we need to import a library with the name pandas, Python for data analytics. And after this as keyword, we are using the alias name, that is PD. So rather than referring pandas again and again, we can make use of PD as a name for the library, and we can access any of the methods that are available in pandas library. So the syntax for the same is, this is the again a data frame, or the you can say a variable which is holding the data from the file. So for this, there is a method available in pandas library, pd.read_csv. In order to read a text file, I haven't imported any particular library. But in order to work with Excel files, you will have to work with pandas library, pd.read_csv. Within brackets, you will have to mention the name of the file along with complete path if it is not there in the root directory. And then you can print the same. Print df1. So you can see here that it has displayed all the contents in the file, which are showing you the name of the different states followed by year-wise area in which a particular crop production is getting done. So if we look into this file, it will show you all these columns for every year, what is basically the area in which that crop is planted. So the only simple syntax is, these are the two lines. First of all, import the library, and then you will have to read the file. So first of all, you will import, and then you will simply read the file. So if you have any Excel file available on your machine, if you have any Excel file available on your machine, then you can try import pandas as PD. I have copied in the chat window. Make use of any name, pd.read_csv, mention the path, and then you can print the data. It will show you all the columns of the file. Similarly, in order to read an Excel file, you need to use syntax pd.read_excel. I do have one file which is holding the result of students. So it is primarily having the data fields or the columns like roll number, name, sessional marks, seminar marks, lab marks, and one more column is there, internal marks and external marks. So let's say this is the result Excel sheet. So you want to read this. So the syntax simply is, instead of read_csv, you will have to use read_excel. So if you do have any Excel file available on your system, you can simply go for it. So make the changes in the name of the file. Bring here any Excel file name. Name of the method will be read_excel. And before running this code, you have to import pandas as PD. The same method. One library that you require for reading Excel file or CSV file is pandas library. Is it clear, participants? I hope the syntax is clear and you can work along with any file.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the next command is in Python data frames, usually we have two different functions, head and tail. Head is basically to show the top 5 rows and tail method is used to display the bottom 5 rows. And if you're interested in displaying, let's say the top 10 rows, so what you will do, df4 means the name of the file handler in which you have access to the file dot head. Within brackets, you can put 10. So it means it can be used with some integer value also. So here is the command I have pasted in the chat window. So df4 or df1, any variable name that you have used for accessing the Excel file dot head. So it will bring the top 5 rows in the output. And if you will do change in the argument of head method, so accordingly it will just display. You can try the second statement also, df4 dot head 10. 10 means the top 10 rows. Similarly, you can work with tail method. It is similar to head, but the top, instead of top, the bottom rows will be displayed. Next is columns command, df4 dot columns. df4 dot columns means in my particular Excel file, if I want to check the column names, then simple command is to put the name of the data frame or the file handler followed by the columns method. So by putting this command, it will show you all the columns of your Excel file. So if you are not confirmed about what are the different column names in your Excel file, without opening the Excel file, you can just get to know all the column names. Is it clear, participants? I hope if you have some Excel file, it will perfectly work with that. Just don't forget to import pandas library. So you can see here that it is showing you the output like this, index, and it is showing you all the columns in your file. And at the end, data type equals to object. It means it is referring to every column as an object. Now I am interested in just printing the names of the students. So for this purpose, you can make use of print command followed by within brackets name of the file handler, and within square brackets you can put the name of the column. And if you want to display names followed by sectional marks, then you will have to use both the column names. अब आपको यहाँ पे क्या देखना है, you will have to take care the number of square brackets. Just focus on this syntax. It's not a single, but I am mentioning within the square brackets list of column names. Are you getting me? Inside df4 square bracket, again a square bracket is there. So it is basically a list of columns that I want to display in the output. So I'm copying these two lines. You can check it out. So if you want to display output of single column, just specify the name of a single column. If you want to display the information in two columns, mention the list of columns within a square bracket. So it means it will be two square brackets in the beginning, two square brackets at the end. So usually we make mistake in this. We just keep this single bracket and it will then raise the error message. So if you are interested in knowing how many number of records or rows are there in your file, then you can simply compute length. So you can see here that length method is so useful. Length method can be utilized on list, it can be used with tuples, it can be used with dictionary, it can be used with Excel file, it can be used with a particular line in a text file. So length method is very helpful in knowing the details about the statistics of a particular object. So length of df4 means it will tell you in a df4 variable, that is in a particular file, how many number of records or rows are there. So in my data file, which is in Excel format, I am having 13 rows, right? So accordingly it will show. Yes, participants, is it clear? Please convey here in the chat window if up to this point it is clear. Okay, fine. Now the interesting part over here is when we are having all this stuff in Excel format and we are aware of how to make use of pandas library, things becomes very easy for us. Inbuilt methods are there. I want to compute the sum of sessional marks. Sessional marks is basically a column in my Excel file. So you will have to simply first of all access the values in this column. Just focus on this line, df4 within square bracket sessional marks. It means it will retrieve the values in the column sessional marks. It will save it in this variable, and now I can simply call the method sum, sessional marks dot sum, and it will just compute the sum total of the marks in this column. Similarly, if you want to round off the values, the result that you are getting, you want to round off, or you want to compute the mean of this. So for mean also directly, if you want to compute the average marks of students in a particular subject, so sessional marks dot mean. Instead of sum, I am calling mean method over here, and the result of this rounded off by 2 decimal places. So outside I am using round method, and within this I am applying this on mean that I have computed on the sessional marks column. Is it clear, participants? So we do have an Excel file which includes marks of the students. I have computed first mean of the marks, rounded off the value by 2 decimal places. Similarly, if you want to see who has scored the minimum marks in a particular subject, so this column includes marks of all the students. So dot min. So it will simply show me how many marks are the minimum, what is the maximum mark in that particular subject. So this kind of analysis is very easy once we are using pandas data frames. So similarly, you can compute median also, sessional marks dot median. So all these statistics is displayed. Sum of sessional marks, this is the mean or average of marks, minimum marks in a subject, maximum marks in a subject, median. And another wonderful part is when we are having some file, if you want to bring all the statistics all together without using individually all these methods, then you can simply run this command, name of the data frame dot info. You can run it if you have some Excel file like this. It should include the values which are, numeric ones, right? So in my file, as you know, that there are different values which are numeric, and I can run this. So you can see here that what kind of information it will display. It is showing me that I'm working with pandas data frames. Range index is 13 entries are there, 0 to 12 index. Are you getting me? 13 rows are there, 0 to 12 index. Data columns, total 7 columns are there. And these 7 columns are roll number, name, sessional marks, seminar marks, lab marks, internal marks, external marks. And these are the data types of these columns. So in each column, I am having integer value, only except the name column. And we have made it mandatory that the value should be not null. So except the name, all the entries are numeric integer values. So all this information will be displayed by using this df4.info. And another command you can run is describe command. So you can fetch any numeric column and you can apply describe method on that. Info method is to see the information about the file. Describe method can be run on any numeric column. So on a numeric column, you can compute all statistics, sum, mean, median, maximum, minimum, range of the values. All the statistics will be generated by applying the describe method. So I have pasted here in the chat window if you want to run. You can see here, I am having total entries 13 in this column. Mean of the value is 21. Standard deviation 7.814. Minimum value in this column is 10. Maximum value is 30. And these are the 25% quartile, 50%, 75%, and so on. The data type of this column is float, and name of the column is sessional marks. So you can see here that there is no need to run individually all these commands. By using single command describe, you can bring all the statistics before you, and you can take a decision quite easily. Are you getting this thing? It's so easy to put all this kind of exploratory analysis on a numeric column by using single command describe. So the same thing you can apply to another columns also if required. Is it clear up to this point, participants? Is it clear? So I have ended up. So we have learned that how we can work with text file, binary data, Excel file, and CSV file. So you people can try it out, all this stuff. It is further having lot many other things. So data wrangling and data transformation, and sometimes we refer to it as data mungling, data wrangling. All these different terminologies are there. So data aggregation. So when it comes to data transformation, all these kind of things are utilized. Your data is not there in the single file. You want to aggregate the data, so you may need to make use of two file handlers. You can try out this assignment. You are having attendance of the students in three separate files, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3. So you can open the three file handlers and you can copy the columns of attendance from the three different files and write it into the fourth file. So this is known as data aggregation, combining together the information available in three different files into the one file. And only requirement is they should be linked by using some column which is having unique values. This is the database concept. So you should need one column which is having unique values. So with the help of that, you can do data aggregation and you can perfectly merge them together, and then you can work with that single file. So all these kind of things you can do, and you can keep on learning and exploring the pandas library. So with these words, I'm stopping here. In case if you have any query, you can ask or you can practice at your end. So I hope all of you have marked attendance for your remote centers and the participants who are registered on ULEX portal also. In the morning also we have shared. So in case if anybody is left, then I can share again the link. You can fill it up. Thank you very much all for joining the post-lunch session, and see you all tomorrow with the session by Dr. Gaurav Kumar, that is on ensemble learning techniques. You will it will be very helpful for you people in doing research with respect to machine learning algorithms, where you are interested in creating any algorithm which is a hybrid of two, so you can evaluate the performance and so on. So definitely before logging out, I will share here the attendance link again, so that if anybody is left, you can fill it. So first link is for ULEX participants. If anybody is left who has not filled in the morning, you can fill. So second link is for remote center. If any center has not filled their attendance for today, please fill it up. You will get it today. The material which is received till now, to all the ULEX participants also. I will do it, don't worry. So I hope all of you have marked your attendance. So we are winding up the session. Have a nice day. See you all tomorrow at 9:30. We will start the first session tomorrow on ensemble learning techniques.